In this exciting design series, we're searching for Australia's best innovations. And now we've reached the final. In this episode, we're counting down our top 10 as chosen by our judges to ultimately reveal our number one for the year. Welcome to the best of the best Australia by Design innovations. I'm here at the CSIRO testing facility in Newcastle, where many remarkable and new innovations are put to the test every single day. And at Sydney's CSIRO, our design industry leaders have been selecting the top innovations from the series. And now it's come to this.
So here we are at the top 10. I have no idea how we're going to narrow this down to one single winner. It's going to be quite a process.
Let's get our countdown started with number 10. Bottle Go.
The Bottle Go is really something special. I'm proud to have it in the show. I know everybody else is. This can save people's lives.
Here is an Aussie idea that was sparked in Zambia that will make a big difference to our lives here, but solve a much bigger problem over there. Hey guys, where did you meet?
Oh, we met in Zambia.
Yeah, at the jazz club.
And I was
At a jazz club. Yeah, and you're still singing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So moved to Zambia, set up my charitable organisation, and I could just see HIV was an epidemic.
As I understand, you've adopted someone. Do you have a photo of her?
Yeah, sure.
She was 4 here.
Yeah.
Yeah, now she's 11.
Her mother, unfortunately, she passed away from AIDS, and she was one of our patients in our program, but we just couldn't get to her in time. There's over 300 children still dying every day, and over 400 a day still contracting. It's up to about 45% transmission rate from a mother to child.
Through breastfeeding.
Yeah.
And that's just a recurring problem that's
Yeah,
just
and it
going
gets
round
bigger and
round.
bigger. So I got some mates together in Perth and come up with a solution which was tackling all the problems I could see.
Adam, you haven't just been wheeled in as a brand ambassador. I mean, you really believe in this product and you're co-designing it as well.
Yeah, involved in the design process. Brendan is a great mate of mine. I believe in him and his passion for this and why he came up with this concept as well.
Can you please show us how this thing works?
Sure, mate. Very simple. We unscrew the lid.
Yeah.
We peel back this foil.
All right, so just
Capsule drops in.
drops straight in. Yeah, it hasn't touched anything. It's completely sterile.
And then give it a shake.
Let me try that. Job done. That was super easy. There was no stuffing around with measuring formula, getting the water right, sterilising it. It's all just, ready to go.
Yeah, and let's give
a taste of. Shan and I have had 4 kids, so theirs are all grown up now, but we do a lot of travelling these days and getting around, so we thought to be able to take a carton of beer for us, we take a carton of these for the baby along, it's good to go.
We go to the vending machine and get a Coke or a bottle of water and we pay $3.50 or whatever it is. If your baby's hungry,
You pay 10 times that.
Gonna pay, would you?
I reckon this product has incredible potential to make our lives as parents just a little bit more convenient, as well as solving a bigger problem in other parts of the world. What do you reckon, Pepper? Yeah?
Next in our countdown, number 9. Virtual Jeff.
I play guitars. I dig the sound of the whammy bar on my electric guitar, but they don't make one for an acoustic guitar. The guys at 4Design have created a digital whammy bar that just sticks right on my acoustic, so now I can sound like Jimi Hendrix and Neil Young all in one. Oh yeah.
Behind this unassuming garage door, there's nothing short of a design revolution taking place in the music industry. If anyone was going to design a piece of equipment for a guitar, it's going to have to be you, right?
Yes, I used to be an engineer and a producer and
Come on, Peter, don't be shy. The big names such as Cole Chisel and...
playing the acoustic guitar on K-San.
No way.
I did like Eagle Rock with Daddy Cool. I'm playing one of the parts on that and a few other things. Other people played solid body guitars which had whammy bars on them. So I had whammy bar envy.
What is a whammy bar?
Let me show you. By moving this lever, you're basically lowering the tension so you hear that?
It's actually stretching
so
and pulling and
it's
stretching
physically
and pulling,
moving and stretching
which
the
then
strings.
changes the pitch.
Most people who've bought a guitar with a whammy, They use it for a few weeks and then the tuning thing drives them crazy.
So this is your innovation?
This solves the problem of the tuning because it's a digital whammy bar instead of mechanical. Let me show you how you put it on a guitar. I press that on the guitar, I leave it for a couple of seconds to stick, I get the unit itself, I slide that on, that's it.
That is absolutely cool.
And I sent it to my mate, Ian Moss, and he loved it, so...
Hang on a sec, you said Ian Moss, as in Cold Chisel Ian Moss?
Yes, Ian. Would you like to meet him?
I'd love to meet him. Yeah, g'day, mate. How are you?
Good. There was sort of more me saying, Pete, I'm really sick of this thing going out of tune. Let's look into developing this and taking this further. And then Peter sort of picked it up and ran with it.
For these guys, the guitar is the centre of their universe, and their intimate understanding of the end user has resulted in the next game changer for the music industry.
Innovation number 8 is Strucket.
People who know me well know that I love laundry and I love this innovation. This mum and dad team have got together and they've proven that everyday design can be well formed and functional.
We've all heard that saying, necessity is the mother of all invention. Well, here is a mother with a fantastic invention born out of necessity. Kelly, where did it all start?
Brandon, it all started here, right in my laundry. I was in the trenches with all the baby mess that motherhood brings with it. So punamis through the onesie. So this is Strucket. She's a bucket and a strainer. I really just wanted a quick way to get the contents out of the bucket. I can even come in midway through a soak and I'm able to actually agitate. And it also has an external plug system. All that unhygienic water's going into the bottom, the contents are still in the top, and I can get back to the kids. There were times where we didn't even know if it would get to market.
The tooling costs, it was coming at $250,000, so we were like, whoa, how do we do that? And we get different quotes and they'd all come in at the same rate, so we just had to find some money and retool, redesign and come up with a way to make it through.
It's a massive risk in a way.
We were missing out on things, and I really knew that if I was taking this money and doing such a big risk, it had to be a calculated risk, and I had to be really smart with it because I needed to bring it home.
Yeah.
Has this process brought you closer together as a family?
Oh, it's been stressful. I've had to step up as a home dad in a lot of areas as well as working full time. So that's, I guess that's more modern family today. But when you look at the workload Kelly does, it's just 24/7 that she's working on this non-stop thinking about it, planning, and the connections and growth that she's made is unbelievable.
Kelly's passion and her willingness to risk it all has resulted in a very innovative product that is going to solve an everyday problem.
Welcome back to Australia by Design Innovations, our final episode for this series. We're counting down our top 10 from around the country, and this is number 7.
When it comes to audio, there's only one guru. Sharing the judging table with Peter is quite the experience. He works out what the industry needs and delivers.
It's okay, Brett, I've got this. I'm going to film this on my phone. So many of us today use our phones to film stuff. Real estate agents, online YouTubers, bloggers, and that's cool because the quality of these phones is actually very, very good. However, there is one problem. So, Ryan, what is the problem?
So, Paul, the problem is poor quality audio. Now, the reason I brought you down here today to a cafe is because this is the typical environment that you might find somebody shooting with their smartphone. So this is the Rode Wireless Go. It's the world's smallest and first truly wireless microphone system. And to show you how it works, I'm just going to clip it straight onto you. It has a microphone inbuilt, and you can pair 2 transmitters for a 2-person interview to 1 receiver.
So Ryan, this feels like audio geek heaven to me.
That's right, I'll take that as a compliment. This is one of our audio studios that we use here at Rode to listen to our products and the recordings that we do with our microphones.
So you've got a mic, Ryan, I've got a mic. What does this do then?
Right, so the microphones that we're wearing are actually wireless transmitters with microphones inbuilt. And what they're doing is they're sending the signal to this receiver unit right here that I can then connect onto either a camera or even a smartphone like this.
Gotcha.
I can simply slide it on like that, and then I get my cable and I can plug it in.
I see.
And then I have very high quality professional audio going straight into my smartphone.
Even I can do that.
Absolutely. Now, normally to get professional quality audio like this, you would have a sound guy with a whole bunch of complicated equipment that's running directly into the camera like we're using today. But with the Wireless Go, it brings very high quality audio directly onto a smartphone or a camera. And what's even better is that it's the smallest wireless system in the world.
Sorry, Jules, I won't need you for this part, mate. I love this device. It's simple to use, it's affordable, and the best part is I think it will liberate a whole new generation of budding filmmakers.
Number 6 is the Sinus surgical training device.
The judging team were really impressed with this innovation. Imagine going into surgery knowing that your surgical team have already performed the procedure on a version of you.
Good morning, Professor.
Oh, morning, Jamie.
I don't want to disturb you. That looks fairly intense.
Well, you want to have a go? We're just doing some sinus surgery here.
Yeah, don't know that I'm really...
Take the instrument.
Sure?
Yeah. Come in. Come slide this instrument into the nose here.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh.
Now you can have a go.
Are you sure this is okay?
Jamie, don't you worry. This is a plasticized training model for our patients.
Wow.
Which we've developed.
I'm glad you wouldn't let me anywhere near a real patient. But it looks so realistic.
This is a model that we've done in combination with Fusitech, which is a 3D printing company. So each of these models is from an actual patient, and we've recreated from the CT scan a 3D printed model. And that 3D printed model has all the pathology that that patient had.
Wow.
So that allows us to train our surgeons and then to show them the actual video of the surgery after they've done the surgery on the model.
Mark, I can't believe the level of detail that you're able to replicate through a CT scan and then make this 3D printed model.
It's almost at a cellular level that we can have a soft material or a hard material or anything in between. Practice and rehearsal will end up saving lives. There is a real need to advance surgical training.
Yes.
Yes.
Important innovation often comes about when need meets technology, but it takes smart minds and passion like Mark's and Professor Wormel's to break new frontiers to come up with world-changing and possibly life-saving medical technology. Now that is good design. Aquarius Shark Barrier comes in at number 5.
This next finalist creates a marine-friendly barrier and an artificial reef all in one. And it also creates peace of mind for all of us beach lovers.
There's an intriguing design experiment taking place here in Albany at the bottom end of Western Australia. This interesting little town is involved in co-designing the next generation shark net. Hey Victoria, so this is the shark net.
It's not actually a net, it's a shark barrier.
Shark barrier,
That's
okay,
right.
and I guess that's why you've made these holes fairly large, right? I mean, I can actually stick my entire head through
Yeah,
this thing.
actually, those holes have been deliberately designed to let the little fish through while the big predators stay on the other side so people can swim
Keeping the big guys out. There's an enormous amount of seaweed here that's passed through the barrier, and I guess that's telling me that it's doing exactly what it was designed to do. Why have you made a shark barrier out of a garden hose?
Hey, why not try a
It's
hose?
designed for water, it's fairly strong, but
That's
you've actually
it.
reinforced that with a rope that goes down the middle.
Absolutely. So it's a modular barrier.
Because I guess as one component breaks, you can actually just take out that section and off you go.
About 10 years ago, we had a shark attack just out in this bay here, and that's when it started the community thinking about what sort of protection do we need to look after the community and so make sure they can swim in safety.
1, 2, 3. Wow, nice and cold in here.
Yeah, definitely.
So Ross, you were the main industrial designer behind the shark barrier. What was the biggest challenge in selecting the materials?
Originally, we were looking at anti-fouling to put in the material to stop things growing on it. But as time went on, we realised that it actually benefited the environment by keeping it there. It becomes a living reef.
We absolutely love it. Now we go out deep, we float, we do bombies often.
pontoon. We just love it.
How old are you? I have to ask.
72.
You look amazing.
Thank you.
From a shocking event that rattled Albany 10 years ago, a cleverly designed living laboratory has emerged that has not only given this community peace of mind, it's an idea that can be taken across Australia and exported to the world.
Welcome back to Australia by Design Innovations as we count down the top 10 innovations for the year. Next in our countdown is Verton R Series.
I love when good design thinking is applied to very specific industrial problems. The Verton R Series is just that. Their idea of using two big gyroscopes to steer a massive crane load is nothing short of genius.
While there's been incredible innovations in crane technology over the last 100 years, on the ground it's a completely different story. There's something very wrong with this picture. Trevor, explain to me what's going on here.
So Daryl and the team are using taglines to reposition the load, which is a typical manoeuvre on a worksite.
And he's standing right under it there. Surely that's not safe.
Yeah, and you can see that is a real demonstration of how risky this work can be. You know, people get killed all the time from being under loads.
I see what you've done to solve this problem. You've just shrunk it.
Not quite, Brandon.
Tell me roughly what's going on in this big yellow contraption here.
Well, we've got two big flywheels in each end, and obviously when you spin up a flywheel, it gives you a force, and that creates your orientation.
I can actually control the way that this load orientates through a smartphone.
Yes.
It's as simple as that. It's an app.
Yes.
And I hit left, and it basically goes left.
Now you've had a go with the model, why don't you have a go at the real thing?
Kidding me, you're going to trust me with this big thing?
Absolutely, very simple, very easy to control, and shows really the strength of the technology.
And it's as simple as actually I'm just hitting right, and this thing is spinning right, left, and that's as simple as that.
Just give it a one little tap and it'll slow it down, and you put it in the square. There you go.
Try this at home. Get a spinning bike wheel and sit on a swivel chair, and you really get an idea of how this technology works. The Verton R Series is set to revolutionise the crane industry.
Number 3 is our international entry from the USA, the Tonal Digital Strength Training System.
Everybody wants to be fit, and if you're vain like I am, you want to look good. The Tonal Gym is something special. It's got a television, it's got audio, it's got everything in it. I mean, this is incredible.
You know your typical home gym. It's big, bulky, and you have to dedicate a whole room to it. Well, forget all of that. This next innovation has revolutionized the home gym system. Is this it?
This is it, right? Hangs on the wall like a television. This replaces a whole gym. This rotates out, the arms come up. Now pull down on that.
I can't reach it, though.
Okay, we can have that adjustable for you. Here you go.
I'm short. Oh, this is easy peasy. Put more on it.
Let's put some heavy weight on there for you.
Wait, this is how you change the weight?
That's how you change the weight.
Just digitally?
Digitally. This is the magic of the machine. Okay, here it comes. Here it comes.
Whoa, that is amazing.
Instead of weights,
Uh-huh.
there's actually an electric motor in here that's providing all of the resistance.
Wow. Yeah, I love the compact size of the design.
Exactly. You think about treadmills and stuff, man, those things are as big as a car sometimes. So what we're really trying to do is just have that trainer experience, that guided experience that tells you what to do and how to do it right and effectively in your own home.
Hey, what's up? I'm Coach Kelly, and today I'll be guiding you through the tonal strength baseline. Who's that good looking guy? That's me. Now, since I'm in person, I'll tell you exactly what's happening. Tonal's gonna get to know you, assess your strength, recommend base weights for you, and then we'll get you right into a workout. And when you're ready to start working, click the weight on using the button on our smart handle.
Whoa.
You feel the weight kick on?
Yeah, I definitely feel it. There's very few products that achieve all three design disciplines: aesthetics, engineering, and user experience. But Tonal exceeds in all three, blending them together seamlessly. Another thing I've learned is that I've got some work to do.
Welcome back to Australia by Design Innovations, best of the best. This is getting serious. We're just moments away from finding out who will take out the top spot for this year. But first, number 2 in our countdown is Febridex.
I'm so excited about Febridex. It's a great design. It's going to have an impact on the way that we treat and manage superbugs into the future.
It's amazing to think that with so many medical innovations happening worldwide, that something as common as the cold and flu could be overlooked.
What brings you here today?
Well, I've been a bit worried about Zoe. She hasn't been feeling great the last few days. Do you think she needs antibiotics?
It's a bit hard to tell. 80% of these things are viral and 20% are bacterial. And early on, sometimes the symptoms can be a bit mixed. We don't want to give antibiotics unnecessarily. We've got a new test that can help us decide. It requires a drop of blood and we know the result within 10 minutes.
Sasha, so while we're waiting for Zoe's results, do you mind showing me a bit of what's actually happening?
There's a lot of science going on in the cartridge, which allows us to open up all the blood cells, grab onto the components within the blood that we want to measure, which then shows us whether or not someone has a bacterial or a viral test, and the doctor can look at that from the test itself. 90% of patients who go to a doctor with a head cold or a flu, they end up getting antibiotics prescribed today. And more than half of them actually don't need antibiotics at all. And so we now have a problem where we have superbugs, where antibiotics are ineffective and patients can't recover from those infections. Our next generation devices, which we've been building upon at the moment, includes a really small camera, and that will then allow us to track patient progression through the infection over time. This device also can shoot data up into the cloud, which means that as we move into the home environment, patients can buy the test in the pharmacy, run it at home. The doctor can then write a prescription, and the patient can go and get that filled themselves.
Well, let's go and check out Zoe's results.
Look, Sue, the good news is that the test shows that it's viral. At this stage, there's no need for antibiotics.
Oh, fantastic. All right, thank you so much, Keith.
This little product is changing the whole way we approach treating one of our most common illnesses. It could be the kryptonite to the superbug.
And now, our top innovation for the year, Flightboard.
Every now and then a product comes along which is way more than just a great toy or a beautiful design. These guys in Byron Bay have created something which is absolutely magical.
You know the story. A successful, stressed out Melbourne business owner sells everything up and makes a sea change to a beautiful spot like this in Byron Bay. With a clear mind, he dreamt up a game-changing design for out there.
I was up here, and like a lot of things, you stop trying to come up with ideas and you have your best ideas. So, you know, staring out at that amazing water out there on a day where there was no wind and thinking, I want to get out there on my hydrofoil kite surfboard. How can I do that, you know? And having this idea of putting a motor on there, just sort of, wow, bang. You know, instantly I could kind of see what this thing could be.
This is the assembly plant. This is where it all comes together.
Yeah, we're putting boards together here, and we've got e-foils in another area and batteries being assembled upstairs. And these props are all 3D printed, the first propellers. Funny story on that, my mum rang me up and said that there was a 3D printer for sale at Aldi.
No.
Yeah, but it was great because I could tweak the design and every night I'd have a new propeller printing. Yep.
So it's really as easy as that. You're just able to slot that whole component
four
into the
bolts.
board.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I am absolutely dying to have a go on this thing. Do you reckon we could take it out?
I think we can organise that. To arm it, and when we're ready to go, pull the trigger. It'll be low power, and we use this plus button to go up through the gears.
Sounds simple enough. Let's do it. Here's a guy who had a vision, he stuck to it, he didn't cut any corners, and the end result is probably the best example of design innovation you're ever likely to see, and the most fun I've ever had in a wetsuit.
Congratulations to Flightboard for winning this year's series. We'll be back next time with another round of exciting projects on Australia by Design Innovations. For more information on any of today's innovations, go to australiabydesign.com.au.